Replaying Red Dead Redemption 2 taught me how to enjoy more games. I know you're thinking this is such a great single player game, it probably restored your faith in games given how broken some games are launching. You know, that kind of makes sense. But no, I actually didn't like this game when I first played it years ago. It's ironic, this is the exact same game that would get me to realize the flaws in my way of thinking on how I approach games. On my first playthrough, the game failed to meet my expectations, and as a result, it was a chore to play, and by the end of 50 hours, I had mostly negative feelings towards it. Red Dead Redemption is my favorite game of all time. Unlike some people, I wasn't expecting Red Dead 2 to be a Western version of Grand Theft Auto 5. I wanted it to just be more of the original Red Dead, and it wasn't that. And I grew to dislike and resent it for that very reason. But about 2 years ago, I got a work from home job as IT tech support on the night shift, and I had nothing but time to kill because I was pretty much babysitting a website where the most I had to do was reset someone's password. I couldn't play any of my usual games during downtime because they require my full attention. I needed something slow paced that wouldn't engage me too much because I would need to pause at any time if someone needed my help, so action and multiplayer games were out of the question. So I decided to give Red Dead another try since it's so painfully slow and I have time to kill. And to my surprise, not only could I tolerate the game more this time around, I actually started to like it a bit. It took a very long time for me to realize why I was enjoying it this time. Since I played it before, I knew it wasn't as fast paced as the original Red Dead Redemption, and I went into it knowing how slow it would be. I adjusted my expectations of what I want from this game and accepted it for what it is instead, and learned to play the game the way it showed me how it was supposed to be played, because when I first played it, I kept comparing it to Red Dead 1 and trying to play it like that, and it wasn't working. After Red Dead, I went on a streak of playing games I didn't like before just to test my theory, and yeah, the games weren't always the problem, it was me. Need for Speed Heat, for example, I hated it and I uninstalled 2 hours in for the way it handles when I first got it, but I love it now. After trying it again last year, I adjusted my expectations to stop wanting this arcade game to be like other arcade games I like and accepted it for what it is. I especially hated the new tap brake to drift feature that's in all the new line of Need for Speed games, because my attitude towards that feature was it's just unrealistic. But why would they add this? To make the game easier for people who can't drive? I play sim racers and I refused to use this. I played it how I did the older Need for Speed games and other arcade racers. Brake, shift down, and take the corner. Except that isn't needed and it's also slower and you'll get past a lot. But learning to play the game the way it showed me how to and embracing the tap brake to drift feature this time around made me realize this feature wasn't added to make the game easier for people who can't drive, it's to keep the momentum of the race up, and it makes it more fast-paced and fun to drive because you're constantly on the gas. And all of a sudden, I'm having fun now and clocked in over 20 hours, and because I now like Need for Speed Heat, does that mean I can now tolerate Need for Speed Unbound, a game I also didn't like? Yes it does. That simple change in my mindset is why I enjoy so many more games now, and I think it's something people should do more often because I see them fall victim to my old mindset on games all the time. In fact, it happened on a massive scale last year with the launch of From Software's latest game, Armored Core 6. Myself and a lot of people struggled against the first boss in that game, and I couldn't help but question myself, wondering did I make a mistake in buying the game? Because I beat Elden Ring, but I fought that boss in Armored Core for 45 minutes and was still failing. Until I took a step back and had to assess what I was doing wrong. I was playing it like it was Elden Ring and Dark Souls, and this game is not like those. Learning to do what they were trying to show me from the very beginning was the key to beating that boss. Before I knew it, I beat that boss and was enjoying every second of the game. A lot of From Software fanboys, however, did not adjust their mindset and continued to play as if it was Dark Souls, and it blew up online on how difficult the game was and they hated it. Their refusal to adjust their expectations and not think of Armored Core as being a mech version of Elden Ring and accept this isn't like other FromSoft games where get good is the only way to succeed, and not learning to play the game the way it showed them directly led to their continued frustration and unenjoyment which is unfortunate because this is the best adrenaline pumping action mech game I've ever played. Yes, the mech action is better than even Titanfall 2, I will die on this hill. I had to make a video telling people to stop playing it like Dark Souls and adjust their expectations, and it actually did help some people. Now, I'm not saying that changing your mindset is some magic trick that will lead you to automatically like every game you don't like. There's some games I retried and I still dislike them. I don't like God of War 2018, even after 3 tries. But that's fine, I won't like every game I play. But it's getting to a point where I see people online are ruining games for themselves without even playing them. Suicide Squad, as many mixed reviews as it's getting, while some criticisms are valid, I played the closed alpha and it was fun. The traversal and gunplay were great, but there's a lot of people who, before even playing the game, are saying it's terrible because of the movement, which is arguably the most fun thing the game has going for it. And again, I will repeat, there are very valid criticisms about this game, but behind a lot of the comments, it's pretty easy to see that some people won't accept this game or any other game Rocksteady releases because they can't accept the fact that it's not another Arkham game. Same thing with Saints Row Reboot. I got a review copy, and do I think it's a good game? No. But I don't think it's as bad as everybody makes it out to be either. It's a 5 out of 10 bargain bin, get it on sale type of game, but it actually had some good ideas and I enjoyed it in a few areas. But the fact it had the Saints Row name on it, it was doomed because the expectations were insanely high from its fans, and I don't think they would have ever been met regardless of what Volition had released. I'm somewhat concerned about GTA 6 for the exact same reason. If it will even live up to the unrealistically insane expectations from Rockstar's fans following the record-breaking success of GTA 5 over the last 11 years, and what will happen if it doesn't meet those expectations. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Skull and Bones, a game people have zero expectations on, and as much as everybody memes about how dead on a release this game will be, myself included, I still decided to try the beta now. Despite how the game sells, or if anyone will buy this, I actually liked it. There's some issues I have with some mechanics, but for the most part, I'm enjoying the beta right now. And if it goes on sale, I will definitely pick this up. I walked in with less than zero expectations and walked away pleasantly surprised. The issue with this game, however, is the marketing has made it seem like it's a pirate game when it isn't. There's no land exploration, shooting, or any kind of on-foot piracy happening whatsoever, setting unrealistic expectations for players because when they finally played it, they understandably complained about the lackluster pirate experience, and many didn't like the game because, well, they're right, it's a bad pirate game, when in reality, this is a naval combat game. I started liking this when I realized there was a disconnect between the marketing of this game and the gameplay itself. I stopped questioning why there isn't any guns or swords or anything making me feel like a pirate because I realized, oh, it's just naval combat and I'm confined to customizing and upgrading my ship. And I enjoyed doing all of that, but again, Ubisoft set themselves up for failure by saying this is a pirate game for the last few years, and everyone was expecting this to be like Sea of Thieves, and when it wasn't, they didn't like it. Ubisoft should have said it's a pirate-themed naval combat game like World of Warships instead. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't technically the first game where this change in my mindset allowed me to enjoy it when I didn't before, but it's the first game where I was consciously aware of why I didn't enjoy it and what needed to change for me to be able to like it. That first game is actually Destiny 2. I was just unaware of what changed in my mind. I hated Destiny 2 when I first tried it, but I tried it again during COVID, still hated it, but I kept playing because everyone says it's so good, and eventually I did end up liking it. I ended up liking it a lot, more than I could have ever imagined. What I didn't realize was that when I tried it for the first time, I was comparing it to Warframe and Division 2. Those two games are very snappy and responsive in their gunplay, whereas Destiny, not so much, it's kind of floaty. But the more I kept playing, I found things that Destiny did better than those other two games, and eventually I stopped constantly comparing them and wanting Destiny to be like those other two games. I accepted it for what it is, and that all three of these RPGs have their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm finding I enjoy more games now because despite how I feel about it before playing, whether I'm hyped or not too interested, I try to leave my expectations at the main menu and play what's in front of me with an open mind. I didn't mention earlier, but I stopped playing Red Dead Redemption 2 after I finished the contract for that job. But it went on sale last Christmas for $15 on PC, so I decided to give it one last try, and I'm very much enjoying every second of the game. I've been taking my time and playing it for the last 2 months. So that's my advice to you. Accept games for what they are and not what you want them to be. Your expectations can often blind you and stop you from actually seeing what's in front of you, and you might actually end up enjoying a game more than you thought you would, despite the fact that it's not what you originally wanted.